Mr. Chairman, you are now live.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody to this evening's Board of Commissioners meeting for Gig Harbor Fire Medic 1 for Pierce County 5. Please rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Urvina,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden,
Yes.
Commissioner Fleming,
Yes.
Chairman Enzi.
Yes. Commissioner's absence. At this time, I'd like to note that Commissioner Nelson will not be with us this evening and would like to put a motion to excuse his absence.
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Urvina,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden,
Yes.
Commissioner Fleming,
Yes.
Chairman Enzi.
Yes. Any communications? Nope. Okay. Approval for the minutes of the January 27th, 2026 Commissioners meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Urvina,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden,
Yes.
Commissioner Fleming,
Yes.
Chairman Enzi.
Yes. We have a pitch hitter tonight for the accounts payable and payroll approvals. So he's stepping off. See if he can lead a
Really nervous, guys.
step up home run here.
All right. So I'll move that we approve accounts payable and payroll approvals for checks 3083 through 3109 and checks 3111 through 3122. And the ACH transfers for a grand total of $1,546,870.59. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Urvina,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden,
Yes.
Commissioner Fleming,
Yes.
Chairman Enzi.
Yes. I heard from President Mike today. There is no report from the local. Chief's reports.
All right. First, to kick us off, I want to take a minute and do Leslie's favorite thing and recognize her. She likes to be called upon, but she has finished her 1-year probation. So I think she's doing a great job, and I checked in with the chairman to make sure that she's meeting all of your needs, and so I just want to take a moment and recognize her and thank her for all the great work at keeping the 6 of us in line. It's like herding cats sometimes, I think. So, but I do have a certificate, and then we have to take a picture with you on the board. I know it's your favorite thing. Travis will do it. Come over here. Middle board by the chair. All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Whoops, you can have that. All right, thank you. You want to make a speech or anything? Yes.
That was funny.
Yep. Yep. So let's see, for the chief's report, I do have tomorrow. I've been updating you on WSRB and the OIC. They've hired Dr. Lori Moore, who was the former U.S. Fire Administrator, to do a study on the property classification rating system here in Washington. It's pretty exciting. So I've been invited to a meeting tomorrow in Tukwila at 10 o'clock. So we'll be going over that for most of the day. Next week, we have a Rotary presentation. They've asked to hear about some fire prevention, so I'm going to start it off. Chief Westcott and CJ are going to come and help me with that next week. Got a South Sound 911 board meeting next week. And then the 23rd and the 24th, I'll be in Spokane. I'm teaching up they have an officer development class 2-day that I'll be doing one whole day. Jared Sergi will be doing the second day in the Spokane Valley area. And that night I may miss the meeting. My flight, well, it depends when I get out of the class and when my flight is, but there may be a small chance of missing that. If I do, it'll be remote. And that's all I have for Chief's report.
Regarding South Sound 911, has there been any movement or updates on the annual cost, or they kind of had that?
No, I don't. I have asked Leslie to try to help me get a meeting with Ryan Mello because the costs are more county, not South Sound 911. But although it came up in a South Sound 911 work study. So unfortunately, we are having difficulty with the county. Travis has been working on some radio stuff and they're not being very cooperative. And they do have a new radio person coming in starting in a week, I think he told me. So hopefully that new radio person will open up the logjam, we hope. And then I'm also going to meet with Ryan Mello one-on-one to have some discussions about it. So I'm not very hopeful, unfortunately, but yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Standing committee reports, the negotiations committee, we're just waiting for some dates for mediation. I got notice for the audit and finance that we're just waiting to make a date for the exit meeting. So it looks like the audit's about through and the state auditor will be doing their exit meeting with us.
And on that, Commissioner, sorry, I should have said it earlier with the negotiations, the lawyers for labor and for the district jointly filed to PERC, and we have also suggested 2 names. We agreed on 2 names and we asked for those through PERC. So that was all filed yesterday or the day before. So we should be hopefully hearing back from PERC to get some dates for mediation soon.
Okay, thank you. Chairman's report, I have nothing. 2022 bond update.
Good evening again. All right, so bond update. So I'll throw one we haven't heard in a while, 53 and 57. Today was the 1-year walkthrough. Obviously, it's before the 1 year that the building was handed over, but we do the walkthrough to make sure everything's working. We knew of a few minor items and contractor will be addressing those before our warranty runs out. Training campus. It's light now outside, so you can see what's going on down there. Late last week, the 4th floor was poured, which is another pretty important step. And then if you can see the building, maybe from the parking lot a little bit better, they have already started building some of the non-structural walls on floor 4. So it will be going up quickly as we had anticipated. On the lower floors, they've already started cleaning the block and the concrete in anticipation of the burn props coming in. And we just confirmed from the burn prop manufacturer in California that they are currently containerizing all the props, and we will be getting a delivery of a 40 to a 50-foot container with all the props. It'll get stored on the training campus, and then Ron, our superintendent, is trying to get those props installed a month early because there's nothing else happening on those lower floors once it's cleaned, and that's all that the burn prop manufacturer needs. So hopefully we'll be maybe a little bit ahead of the schedule with those items going in as they continue building the rest of the tower up. Station 51, If you didn't see it, social media, IT department did a great job of providing some videos and some still pictures of the demo that started last Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning. I will say that I'm sad and not sad to see the building go because I've lived through at least 2 of the remodels in that building, and there's been more than that. That started. I went in yesterday and took some video. The last big piece that was standing was the tower. So they demoed the tower and the concrete from the walls around the tower yesterday. So another milestone. And then after I left, our demo contractor is very quick in his work. He took apart the entire foundation, and it is now in a large pile of concrete ready to be recycled. There's approximately one more load of the building to go out when I was there this afternoon. And then the concrete and the steel will go out as well. We have had 16 months down here of no issues. We made it a week at 51 without something happening. Over the weekend, somebody broke through the fencing and let's see, they stole a very large extension cord that goes from the generator to one of the Connex boxes. We thought it was gone until this morning when the contractor saw it sitting on the other side of the fence. Apparently it's too big for people to drag along and they just left it. So they went through the fence and went and retrieved it, and it's back. And now they roll that up at night and store it. So that is it for the bond update. Is there any questions of me? Well, I'm going to keep going because I'm on a roll. So, and it has to do with the capital bond anyway. So in 2026, just give you some highlights of what we're going to do. Obviously, we'll complete the training campus, still scheduled for the end of May, rough numbers. Everything's looking good, especially when we have weather like this. They get a lot of stuff done quickly. There's not as many contractors down there. It's really the masons and the folks working on the tower and the electricians. Just that's what's going on right now. We also, obviously, as I just talked about, have started 51. So in 2026, they'll start and do a lot of the site work, which there's a lot of work to do. We have a lot of underground storage tanks to put in for water runoff, and there's a large test pit that has to come out still from previous use. And then the building will start. So obviously the first thing that Pease is looking to do is get the foundation laid out and get that foundation on the ground, and then look out because the building will go up quick. Other things in 2026, here this week, hopefully I'll get it out tomorrow. It's kind of dropped in my list of things to do, but send out a notice for a design committee for 58 and 59. We have a general idea of what we want that to look like, but we take input from the firefighters. The Station 51 committee was basically 4 members. I had 5 members, 2 lieutenants, a BC, and a firefighter. So take that input and come up with a design. We have a basic design started, but we'll go from there. And then once we get that design, I'll start the process of working through conditional use and land use for both of those sites. Sounds funny as we have to go through conditional use. It's a fire station. It's going to be a fire station. It'll probably always be a fire station, but that's part of the process of working through it. And because it is a fire station currently, and we're putting another fire station on the same site, the county's actually been pretty easy to work through for those items. So those are the highlights of my 2026 plan. Questions for that?
I have one question. On the station designs, how much are we taking into account extra rooms if we were to hire more in 10 years? I'm not,
Yes.
okay. So they're specking in just like 1 or 2 extra rooms in different stations or all?
So a little bit of history. Original designs of 3 and 7, and I'm backing up a little bit, were to not touch the dorm rooms. That design only had 4 dorm rooms, so that limits me. to, not me, it limits Nick to who he can put in the building. So I actually took PT room, expanded PT, and took part of that room and made a 5th dorm room. That allows us to put 2 companies in those 2 stations. Station 51 will have 11 dorm rooms, and that's accounting for a BC, 2 on a medic, 3 on an engine, 4 on a truck, and a Proby. So that's 11 dorm rooms. The station 58 and 59, we're looking at 7 dorm rooms. So if we have a typical engine company and a medic unit, that's only 5. So that gives us 2 more, in essence, another 2-person company. But it's all going to be looked at and look at space. We also have to account for staffing. See, how do I put it? Staffing other stations at the point where we're done with the build. And that could be flexing back out to 3, 7, just adding more staff at other stations versus concentrating it. So
it's just nice to have that flexibility. So now, whether we pack 15 people in one station, 'cause
Right.
it always changes as we're, okay, so they're factoring that in.
Yep, I'm factoring it in. That was an easy question. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Chief Johnson, as always, thank you so much for everything that you've been doing. I really appreciate it. Old business, doesn't look like we have any. New business, continuity of operations plan.
Chief Boots?
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you. Good evening. I already forwarded my draft plan to Commissioners Hayden and Nelson as part of the policy committee. They reviewed it, gave me a thumbs up. A little bit of history here. I know we had some documentation in policy regarding a continuity of operations. I know because I looked when I was preparing for an EFO class and I found a pretty old board resolution that spoke to continuity of operations. I can't find it anymore. And so when admin and finance was looking into our insurance re-rate, they asked about a continuity of operations plan and I couldn't find it. So this is an attempt to replace the older version that I believe existed in a board resolution. The reason this is coming before you is because this will be a 1000 series policy. So while there may not be an actual number in the corner, that is where this policy will live. And so I just have it before you for your approval, and if I'm happy to entertain any questions.
You're looking for action, correct?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
this
okay.
does.
Yes,
need-
please.
So
Yeah,
I'll
yes, since
move
this
that-
is a admin level,
Yeah.
it requires your.
I'll move that we approve the continuity of operations plan as presented in the agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Urbina,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayden,
Yes.
Commissioner Fleming,
Yes.
Chairman NC.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next item under new business is the 2026 draft work plan.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. We are going to have to extend this over into maybe the next meeting because Chief Boldenberg's in Mexico, and we'll hear from him next time, and then we'll get your feedback, and of course we'll take feedback tonight too, but from his portion of it, and then after you've heard it all, I'll ask you guys to approve that plan. A little bit of repeat, but I think it's important is discussing why we have an annual work plan rather than a 5-year plan, strategic plan. So many times a 5-year strategic plan takes so much time and investment and consultants and money. And we produced this really glossy document. It's well-intended language. It's big, it's flowery, and then it sits on a shelf and gathers dust till 5 years from now, and then it's dusted off. And I'm not saying we don't have a long-term plan. In fact, many of these projects that we're going to talk about do extend over just a 1 year. But the reason I like to do kind of an annual work plan, it is focused on the next year on the horizon, but many of them go over multiple years. And the difference is that it's more active, it's more dynamic. We use this work plan in our every weekly meeting. And every month I have a meeting with the command staff, and we use this for our meetings. How are we doing? Where are we going? What's happening? And each of them use this plan in their meetings. So it remains nimble. The plan is only as good as the plan is that day, right? Because there's always something that's going to happen to throw it off. At the highest level, our 5-year plan is pretty clear. We're going to complete our voter year approved bond projects, including the training facility 51, 58, and 59 will get started. As the training facility comes online, we're going to invest in a long-term business plan for that with quality instructors, with partnerships with other agencies, and ongoing improvements to that facility so that we can really focus on operational readiness. We're going to receive a lot of equipment this year. It's going to be difficult. We're going to have to train on it. We're going to have to receive 5 Type 1 engines, 2 Type 3 engines, a water tender. We're not only going to have to receive them, we're going to have to put them in service and train on them. We're always going to be evaluating and adjusting our emergency services, how we deliver it, how we train, including fire suppression, wildland firefighting, and EMS, both emergent and non-emergent calls, to assure that we're aligned with our community needs and our risks. We're going to use data-driven decisions, both in emergency response and in our financial planning, to improve our outcomes. We're going to lead with technology. Like we discussed earlier, we struggle a little bit with radios and communications and South Sound 911 being out of our hands, but we got to continue to partner with them so that we can have operational effectiveness. And we're going to continue to modernize our policies, our procedures, our processes. We put into effect a new Tyler software that we're continually investing in. So for me, as part of my plan, I look at it that it's my job to create a great team and to support them and then get out of their way and let them do their job. And that's what I do. So we're going to continue to bring on another deputy chief this year and do that transition. It's my job to cast the vision of where we're headed, to sell that vision to not only to you, this community, but our firefighters and our work plan. And then it's my job to really focus on relationships with state legislators and mayor and council, county council, county commissioners, school board, all of our partners is where I'm going to focus a lot of my time, continuing to build those relationships and diving into that. With that, I'm going to let operations take over for just a minute and have Chief Langlow walk you through the operations plan for 2026.
All right, good evening. I'm just getting my screen shared.
As he's bringing this up, this is found in, it's always visible to you, to any firefighter, to all of us. We keep track of our work plan on Teams, and you can see who's responsible, what part of it's in progress, and where we're at all times.
All right, so I am going to cover operations at a high level and then training and EMS because they both fit underneath operations. And so I was talking, well, we talked as a command staff, and we always find, or I always find it a little bit difficult to make sure I include all of the things that are happening and then not too much of the run the business, right? There's a lot of run the business that happens in all of our divisions. And so I think I kind of leaned on a little bit more of include some of that run the business just for visibility for the board. But I'll go through these at a super high level. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. and I'll be able to expand on any of them. One of the things that isn't in here that fits into that run the business that I do want to recognize though, is what is not listed in the header in here is the probably this year, the close to 8,000 911 calls that will be responded to, mitigated, and reported on by our crews that are out on the streets every single day. So while it's not listed in these specific projects, because I think inherently we know that's the primary mission of the fire department, that is operations primary function, and they're doing that every single day. So first thing, these are in no particular order. It's just as it filtered in the system. We'll be working on a staffing analysis. I should also mention that my name is next to a lot of these. That doesn't mean that I'm the only one. It takes a village and a team to do these things. But staffing analysis. So what I would like to get accomplished in 2026 is to establish what we have historically called a fill ratio. Essentially, how many positions does it take to put firefighters on the street? So if we wanted to expand service, how many people would we need to hire to make that happen? So that's a pretty big lift. That'll be a combination of operations and admin finance, because there's certainly money attached to that. But we'll be doing a staffing analysis this year, or at least get that almost complete to help guide the future as we make plans to grow and adjust to the community need. Ladder truck evaluation conclusion. We are just wrapping up phase 2 of 3 phases on that. So I would expect to be coming before the board, certainly with an update before the end of the first quarter on kind of where we're at in that ladder truck evaluation. We did just a short piece on that ladder truck evaluation. During phase 2, we're having a couple different ladder trucks come out and drive a road network in our district that the committee's kind of predetermined for access. And so ladder 1 from Tacoma Fire came out over the weekend and spent some time driving. And that's their tractor drawn aerial. So we're trying to get a couple different types of apparatus to come out. So they came out on Saturday. So thank you, Commissioner Fleming, to Chief Barthay and Tacoma for being willing to come out and do that with us. Validating, categorizing, storing operations SOGs. This is certainly run the business, and it is ongoing. We're always looking to make sure that our SOGs are up to date and what we need it to be. We need to rebuild our Intera situational awareness tool. So we use Intera as one of our situational awareness tools now, and Travis now be working hand in hand to rebuild that and bringing it in-house. Right now, it lives on Central Pierce's server, and has since we implemented it. Now we're bringing it back in-house to really have full control over configuration and changes and updates. And so Travis and I'll be spending a lot of time. He'll probably get sick and tired of me over the next 6 to 8 months, but we'll be rebuilding SitStat. Fireboat research and specification. That's Chief Doan brought that to the board I guess it was probably last summer, last fallish. Maybe we talked about that at the board level. Still in a bit of a holding pattern on that project, but we do expect some research to continue on that as we evaluate whether or not we add that to the operational platform. Driver operator eligibility testing. If you remember, we did promotional testing in 2025. That's on a 2-year cycle on the odd years. And we have driver operator eligibility testing. Now we'll be on a 2-year cycle on the even years. So that'll happen in the fall. Our technical rescue team needs to grow. We identified that in our research study project on the technical rescue team. And so we're going to be growing the team this year by having an eligibility test and then subsequently an eligibility list. We'll be rebuilding Intera Analytics. That's the other side of our Intera platform. We transitioned to NERIS from INFERS, just as the rest of the fire service did too. I was pleasantly surprised when Travis shared an email with me the other day that Intera is back up and running with NERIS. So we'll be evaluating that to make sure it's meeting our needs. And that's where that response data comes from that I've sent out to the group a couple times on our performance metrics since we've had 51 closed. Chief Doan mentioned it, in-service new apparatus. My name is listed next to here, but it could be 100 people deep. It's going to take all the divisions and all the people to get those new apparatus in serviced, and we're excited for that. Wildland program enhancements. That's always ongoing, looking at ways to enhance our wildland program, both internally and as we deploy. Officer succession planning. That's a kind of a passion project of mine. I think I'm not sure if we've talked about it at the board level, but in the next, couple weeks to 5 or 6 years, we're going to have all of our command staff and really anybody that has a black shirt wearing that's a chief officer is going to be retirement eligible, and a pretty good chunk of our lieutenant corps too. So I want to make sure that we're prepared for that and we're investing in our people now so that people are better prepared when they do have the opportunity to step into those roles in the future. Develop a future firefighter EMT and firefighter paramedic hiring strategy. So that'll be influenced a lot by staffing analysis. We are not hiring in 2026. We hired early in 2025 to cover our retirements, but I would expect we're going to get back to hiring in 2027. And that covers my operations specific items. And then I'll continue on to EMS. Chief Doan mentioned this. Chief Dumas will continue to work on our EMS level of service, how we respond to EMS calls. Our care facility education program, we had really, really good, fruitful results in the first phase of that, which is that educating our select care facilities in our district to kind of help us navigate what is the right thing for the patient, right? We want to try and keep them in the facility if we can, because that's going to be most comfortable for the resident. And less impactful to their medical situation. And so we're going to continue to work through that and enhance those facilities and our relationship in that. EMS supply procurement, right sizing. A lot of that is influenced by Chief Johnson's bond projects requiring us to move different facilities in the district. So Mike's going to continue to work on that. Ongoing management of EMS certifications, definitely run the business, but I think it's just recognition that we have north of 100 different EMS certifications that need to get managed on an ongoing basis. And then the EMS division is really influential in that. Continued enhancement to billing and charting practices so we can make sure that we continue to be Medicare compliant. Train and develop EMS instructors and evaluators to support in-house EMT class. That's something we're really excited about with our training facility. And then we talk about plans for fire academies and EMT academies and being able to host all of our own stuff internally so we can control curriculum and schedules and when we're ready to hire. And so we'll continue to develop that cadre. Mike's planning on Chief Dumas 2027 transport unit deliveries. Chief Peterson has been gracious enough to shepherd that, and then we'll get some transport units, I think, in the next couple of years. And so we'll work through that. EMS training enhancements. 2026 is a brand new OTEP plan. Every 5 years, our ongoing training and education program for EMS needs to be rewritten. So we got it rewritten and approved at the state level in 2025, and now it's evaluating year one of that to make sure that it meets the needs. Moving into training, kind of winding down here. Successfully onboard new hires. We still do have 6 folks that are in different stages of probation that are on the line, and so we continue to get them trained and ready to go. LMS and SOG integration, that's our learning management software with Vector Solutions to make sure that we're capturing the right data to be able to report to the state and to the WSRB and all the different agencies that want to know how much training we do on a regular basis. Continued development of the training cadre, both live fire in the fixed facility and acquired structure. So to make sure that we're ready to burn in the tower and we're ready to burn in acquired structures. Open the training support building. Certainly would fit in to run the business, but that's going to be a big lift this year. Operations and business plan for the training center. Chief Doan mentioned that, and we're going to get that open and operating and then really understand how we want to best utilize that asset down there. Ongoing relationships with neighboring and regional agencies. This is a passion project for Chief Corrigan for sure, and has done a great job of fostering those relationships and wants to continue to do so, and I'm fully supportive of that. Acquired structure training. We talked about that in the cadre above. The UL FSRI work that Chief Corrigan, Trevor Finiseth, and then Chief Westcott and CJ have been doing to look for opportunities to enhance that. And then Scott is in charge, Chief Corrigan is in charge of our officer training program. And then his goal for live fire down on the training ground this year, although it might sound simple on paper, is still a lot of logistics involved, but it's to host live fire for all 4 of our shifts to make sure everybody is qualified and ready to go and compliant. And that is the end of operations, training, and EMS.
Chief Langlow, what is ULFSRI?
Yes, so that is a good question. Underwriters Laboratory is the UL, and Fire Service Research Institute, I think, is the I. And so if you remember, Chief Booth reported on one example of what FSRI does when he was at the board meeting. I think it was our last board meeting. We talked about the Explorer Labs program that was done at Goodman Middle School. And so that is one of the elements of what FSRI does, their research institute on fire service trends and education. Yeah.
I have a question about the apparatus. When they come, are they coming the same month? Are they coming one a month? And how much has to be installed on them? Do they install the radios already, or do we install the radios? And
Yeah. So, and then a couple questions there, and then I'll let Chief Peterson jump in. My understanding is that the Type 1 engines are going to come together in May. So all 5 of them are scheduled to come together. And then I believe the tender and the Type 3 engines are staggered, but they're all scheduled, I think, to come in that like second quarter window. So it'll be a packed shop up at the shop. And I don't know about how much, what percentage you think equipment gets
Steve, will you
installed
go
here?
to the mic? I need you to, please. Why don't you give us an update?
Hi, thanks for the question. Yeah, so as Chief said, we're expecting delivery or at least final inspection on the Type 1 apparatus around May back at Rosenbauer. The tender we're expecting to do final the second week in March as of right now. So then it'll get shipped to General Fire, which is the regional dealership for Rosenbauer, for another inspection there, and then it'll come to us for delivery. The 2 Type 3 apparatus that we ordered from BME, the bodies for the apparatus are around about 60 to 70% complete. We're just expecting paint at that point. So we're probably bumping into first to middle part of the second quarter for delivery of those apparatus. As far as the radios that you asked about, yeah, we are working with IT to try to equip these things from the factory as much as we can. So there's less work for us to do when they actually arrive. We actually just shipped off the 5 mobile radios for the Type 1 apparatus to Rosenbauer today. So things like the mobile radios, the HPUEs for our wireless data access, the headsets that the firefighters wear when they're operating the apparatus and when they're inside of it, all that is getting installed from the factory. So the goal is when they show up, we basically confirm that all the programming is correct and those things are operating as intended, which most of that will actually get accomplished when we go back for finals on the apparatus. And then it's just placing our tools and equipment onto the rigs, hose, nozzles, hand tools, things like that.
whoever's in charge of this is doing a great job.
Well, commissioners, a little story, where I came from, there was one time that the engines got delivered and they went out of warranty before they hit the streets. And that was before I became chief. When I became chief, I said, that ain't happening again. And we sped it up. And unfortunately in Boise, they thought they had to manufacture everything in-house but what Steve and Travis and Nick have done very well is let's get it delivered from the factory, as much of it already done as we can. And what we can't have is them sitting down at the facility for weeks and months and years, right? Of course, there's always going to be hiccups and we got to get things, but they have really, really been planning to not let that happen. If it did, it's something out of our control, but we're doing everything we can. So when they arrive, they hit the streets as fast as possible. If they all arrive at once, we might have to do one at a time and it might take a little bit of time, but we also have to train on them, right? These are brand new, different apparatus. So, but they are really making sure that this plan's put together. And like I said, plans are only as good as that day. But we do want these to hit the streets as fast as possible. Thanks for that question. Anything else for operations or Chief Langlow?
This might be a Chief Dumas specific question, so maybe it'll have to be answered later. Do you know if he's looking into the whole blood at all? I know Tacoma and Central Pierce have had a lot of success with patient survivability with that.
Yeah, We did, when Tacoma and Central Pierce brought that online, we were involved in the conversation initially. And at that time, we didn't have the same opportunity to get it in service on like EMS1 and their MSO. And it was like a bandwidth issue at the time. And so I can't give you an update. I will find out an update if we're still looking at that. But I would imagine with Chief Dumas and Dr. Constance, that is certainly an ongoing discussion with Whole Blood. We would just have to find maybe a different avenue to get it in serviced and available. Yeah.
All right, if nothing else for operations, Chief Booth.
Okay, good evening. I'm a creature of habit, so I got a PowerPoint. And this will go much quicker than Nick's. Tom and I have a lot less that we're trying to manage. A couple things that were carryovers from 2025. I'll speak to the safety SOGs first. They're in their final draft. They literally will be done probably by the next time we meet. But that is the full overhaul of the accident prevention program as required by the WAC. Community risk reduction. Specifically, we've done a really good job in the wildfire ready area, but there's still some opportunity in fall prevention and what we're choosing to call elder support. This is even more timely because we just learned that as of this coming weekend, our referral provider is closing their doors. And so now there's a really an increased urgency of trying to figure out ways to connect our vulnerable population with services within our system. CJ is meeting with Tacoma and learning about their team. She's going up to Poulsbo and doing a ride along with their team. We're really trying to figure out what is going to be the best solution for our own community. So that is something that Tom, CJ, and I, before I leave, will be really focusing on in the coming weeks and months. We do need, these are all new for 2026. We need to add peer support team members. I think I've talked to you about this before. We've got a lot of very senior, both in age and in rank, members on the team, and not very many at the bottom. So this is, we've hit that point in time where it's really important to reinvigorate the team from the bottom. And so we are going to be, the goal is before the end of the first quarter to be putting out a notice to the organization, looking for the folks that are interested, and then probably partnering that with a survey to let the rank and file tell me who they think should be added to the team, and then kind of melding them together and trying to come up with, I don't know, 5, 6 people probably realistically added to the team. We do have leadership consultant training with Mike McGard. We're the last group to meet with him, and we have a date scheduled 2 days in May. I think it's 11 and 12, if I'm not mistaken. So we're excited about getting the whole brand new team together, and it will be a brand new team. I'll be on my way out, and Abe Edmondson will be the only one that was there when we first started talking about this. So it'll be exciting to get that team off on the right foot. I've talked about it before. We've expanded this last year. We expanded the size of the peer fitness team. We're up to 7 people on shift. And there's a strong interest from the team to go from being more reactive to proactive. And so with the support of Karen and her background in exercise science, and then with Tom's leadership and vision, really helping launch that team to look more opportunities to be proactive with our membership. I'm excited to see that program grow. As we've rotated through all the various things that we talk about regarding health and wellness with our staff, we're now rotating back to a mental health component. So we need to find an instructor, come up with a topic, and get that deployed to the shifts. The last 2 years, we focused on sleep and nutrition. And while those two are great, we need to get back into focusing on behavioral health primarily. Nick already talked about it. The team's interest is in expanding the Explorer Labs to all middle school science classes in the school district in 2026. And so we had a great initial launch. Now we just got to keep that momentum moving. And so I'm confident that CJ and Tom and Patrick eventually will get that across the finish line. And then there's a strong desire from this group. We've been talking about this for years, of having some kind of a recruitment / introduction to the fire service / women in the fire service, like that kind of idea of providing an opportunity for folks that either may have an interest in becoming a firefighter or don't even know that they have an interest, to give them a peek behind the curtain and help let them experience that. And Chief Westcott has been talking to Chief Corrigan, and they both believe that with the training center, we'll finally be able to do that in a meaningful way. And so the goal is, it's probably an ambitious goal, but it's a basic goal, is to do one event. If we can get one event done in 2026, then we can establish a program and ideally do more and more into the future. That's actually it for our high level, not run the business stuff. And I'm happy to entertain questions.
All right. And like I said, we'll hear from admin team when Chief Oldenburg gets back, and if you have any feedback for us in operations or myself or health and safety or the bond, let me know and we'll add it to our work plan. That's all.
Thank you very much. It looks like some exciting things that you guys have planned and to implement and bring forward to this department. Keep us going like we've been going, and just new and exciting things. So thank you for your work and your what you see for us in the future. This part of the meeting where you go to open public comment. If you have something to say, if you're online, please raise your hand. And then you need to state your name for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes.
There's no one online.
Nobody online? Okay. You have anything, sir? No? Okay. Thank you for being here this evening. Thank you for being here. Okay. Hearing nothing under open public comment, good of the order.
I do have one good of the order. I actually forgot about it on my work plan, but we are looking at bringing back Crunch Time, our auto extrication symposium that ended before with COVID. Now that we have the training ground open, so tentatively that's scheduled for September this year. So the team's working on bringing back Crunch Time.
Any other good of the order? Special interest upcoming events.
I'll speak to an upcoming event. I probably should have mentioned it during my report. We are doing the Grail test again, and we have a date, March 5th here at Station 50 from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And it is, you are all eligible to participate.
What is it?
The Grail cancer blood test.
Oh, okay.
Can you explain it a little bit more?
Yeah, it's the 50 cancer blood test. If you remember, I reported on it in my 2025 plan. We found a stage 1 cancer that is in an asymptomatic member who doesn't even require treatment. It was found so early, and so we're bringing it back. We're expanding it to include all the operations staff. There is I don't know if it's small cost, but for yourself, if you were to do it, it's $649 out of pocket. And if you do have a benefits card, that they'll invoice you. The company will invoice everyone that comes in. It also includes spouses, retirees, and then obviously any member of the organization.
That was March 5th?
Yes, the first date we're doing it is March 5th. We do have a possible second date in early April, but we'll see how many people we can get processed through on the 5th.
And what was the time?
From 8 a.m. until 1 p.m.
Okay.
And there are no appointments, just show up.
Is it the blood test? Like scanner? Like what do I have to do?
Show up and let them stick you.
So it's
It's just a blood draw. Yeah. Yep.
And then on Friday, February 27th, I just forwarded you guys an invitation to Lee Plunkett's retirement celebration at the shop. That's at noon. So you should have that in your email when you're done with the meeting.
All right. Anything else under special interest or upcoming events? Okay. At this time, we are going to recess into executive session. Our next item of business is an executive session pursuant to RCW 4230-110-1G to discuss the performance of a public employee. The executive session will last for 30 minutes and the meeting will be called back to order at 6:20? At 6:20 p.m. No action or vote will be taken. So we are in recess for right now. Gonna go to your office, okay?
Are you ready?
Yes, sir, you are live.
Or live? 6:30, the Board of Commissioners for Pierce County Fire District 5 Gig Harbor Medic 1 is reconvened. With no other business for this board, we are adjourned.